Okay. All right. Welcome to our spring workshop on the Active Transportation Challenge, our annual Active Transportation Challenge we have every May. And I'm going to go over what that is and what kind of prizes there are and how to win all that stuff. And as I said, we're recording in as I have here. So FYI, you can have your camera off, on, whatever you want. It's up to you, whatever you're comfortable with. Hopefully this will be a little interactive. And go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat. And what's your name? Who is your employer? What's your role? Happy Eclipse Day. Did anyone get to see a little bit? It was cloudy here. It's not much here anyway. But back east, I got a good show, I think. Did you get to see it when it was here in 2017? I biked down to Malala, it was 50 miles round trip for me, which is a lot. It was a very tiring day, but it was amazing. If you get a chance, if you haven't seen Totality and if you get a chance, it's literally breathtaking. It's worth it. And this photo is from an OPB story. They have actually a pretty cool video of some people who went up to climb Three Finger Jack and watch it up there. It's pretty cool. Okay, so who are we? We are the Westside Transportation Alliance, or WTA. We are a membership-based transportation management association, and I'll explain what that means if you're not familiar with it on the next slide. But we deliver customized programs and services in partnership with employers and public agencies to increase transportation options usage in Washington County and the region, the Portland metro region. And what we mean by transportation options is anything besides driving alone. So biking, walking, transit, carpool, telework, all that stuff. Anything environmentally friendly is what we like to see. And our work is made possible with support by Metro and the Federal Transit Administration. And what is a TMA? If you're not familiar, Transportation Management Association is, in technical terms, a group that helps facilitate the movement of people and goods within an area. Like I said, we tend to focus on commutes. We do a little bit with non-commutes, but mostly it's commutes, and we focus on businesses. We have business members in the area, and also a little bit of work with some residents. We have a couple of programs at some affordable housing communities. And so we help people get around, and we are based in Washington County, Oregon, and we do some extra work throughout the region. And some more local examples are Go Lloyd, which does similar work in the Lloyd district in Portland, and also Explore Washington Park, which helps people get around without a car in Washington Park, which is where the zoo is and the Rose Garden and everything. So we've got a shuttle stuff. And here's all our members. Like I said, we're a membership-based organization, and we have a wide variety of members right now. We've got some big organizations, small organizations. We have government entities. We have a number of partners that we work with, that we have affiliate memberships with. And so if you see yourself up there, thank you for being a member. And if you'd like to see yourself up there, just let me know, and I'd love to talk about membership. It's what I think is pretty affordable. It's an annual membership, and we're a nonprofit, and so it's going to cost you a lot less than some consultants or other people doing this type of work. And we love to do good work, so get in touch if you'd like. Okay, let's talk about the Active Transportation Challenge. So this is something we've done every year for a few years. This kind of has taken the place of the old Bike More Challenge. Some of you might remember the Bike More Challenge that went on for a long time. Which then turned into the Move More Challenge. And then they have taken a hiatus, and I'm not sure if it's coming back or not, but we still wanted to do some sort of spring active challenge. And so we came up with the Active Transportation Challenge. And that runs the entirety of May 1st through 31st of this year, and hopefully all the years in the future ad nauseum. We'll see. And how does it work? So it runs on Get There Connect. And I've got a link down there. I'll be taking a PDF of all these slides and sending it out. And it's got links on it. And here's the QR code for the challenge page as well, if you like QR codes. And it runs all month long in May, like I said. All active modes count. That's bike, e-bike, scooter, walk, and skate are the modes you can choose from on Get There. And all trip types are eligible: commutes, errands, recreation, and other. Again, those are the things you can choose from on the Get There website, and it all counts. And we wanted to make sure it was super easy to participate. So anyone who is logging trips on the Get There Connect platform, which is getthereoregon.org, as long as you're logging trips and you live or work in Washington County, or you're an employee of a WTA member. Some of our members have sites that are still within the region, but outside Washington County. It's a couple in Portland. So you still count if that's you, as long as you're part of your workplace's network. And if you're not sure if you are, again, get in touch and I can help you figure that out. So if that's you, you are automatically entered. So as long as you're logging trips, you don't have to do anything extra. You can form a team, which is optional, but highly encouraged, which is fun because you can, get to reconnect with some coworkers. You can make a team with your friends. And on the next slide, I'll talk about the WTA League, which is all the teams of WTA member organizations, which compete for a trophy. So, but you don't have to have a team if you don't want to, or if you don't have one. And you can join and form a team at bit.ly/AT Challenge 2024 and or at this QR code. And again, I'll send that out. So you can win prizes all month long. We'll do random prize drawings. We'll do weekly drawings and some drawings at the end of the month for some prizes. And you have increased chances of winning those prizes if your organization is a WTA member and if you're a priority commuter. Priority commuters are, it used to be like frontline essential workers. It's kind of our equity focused program, like extra incentives. And in order to tell us that you qualify, you just have to click this link below, the WTA-TMA.org/priority-commuters. And that'll ask you some questions like what type of work site you have, what type of shifts you work, whether you work from home or not, some optional demographic information, things like that. And then I'll tell you whether or not you qualify. And if you do, you'll get some extra entries into our raffles. And also, as it says on the bottom, $10 e-gift cards for the first 20 priority commuters to log at least one trip. So that'll be automatic. Exciting. So definitely fill out that form and let us know that that's you. And at the end, we'll have awards for individuals, first, second, and third place. And that's based on the number of trips logged. And you can log up to 4 trips a day. And we like to say that we don't want people logging like 100 trips a day and, outweighing everybody else because of that. But since transit is not part of this challenge, since it's an active transportation challenge, you can log your walk, though, to the walk or bike to the transit station and say, you're walking to the bus stop, and then you take the bus to your destination and walk from the bus to your destination. That can be 2 trips. And then back the other way, that's another 2 trips. So that's 4 trips total. So if that's you and you're taking transit, definitely log those walk or bike or roll or whatever, however you're getting to the transit station, and that'll count. So we have a WTA League, and this is for teams at WTA member organizations. We have trophies, which are very exciting. They're traveling trophies. These have been around since the Bikemore Challenge, and so they've got all the past winners engraved on the sides of them, which is fun. And we do, we present it, we get a nice photo of the teams when you win. And we have 2 right now, and we usually base it on the team logging the most trips total, which you'll see on the leaderboard if you go to that site, the Get There site. And then a normalized most trips, so like most trips per person. So hopefully that helps even out, smaller teams and bigger teams. And also rewards, teams that, people who recruit a lot of people for their big teams. So that's exciting too. So I like to reward both. And don't forget to make your team here, which is that same website that takes you to Get There, bit.ly/AT Challenge 2024. Invite your coworkers. If you create a team there, you'll get a custom URL that you can share with people to for them to join your team. And if you're joining a team, there should be a drop down Once people start creating teams, there will be a drop down where you can search for your teams. You can join one. And if you work for a WTA member, if you're one of our contacts, keep an eye out in your inbox for a communication toolkit with some sample language that you can put out on your intraweb or social media or emails or whatever, and that'll have that link and that QR code and all the details. And if you ever have questions, again, just ask me. But hopefully that thing will have a lot of details for you. Hopefully we'll answer some questions, maybe a little FAQ. So yes, create a team and maybe you can win the trophy. And last year's trophy winners were the City of Hillsborough and Vernier Science Education. So we'll see if they win again or if we get different winners. We'll find out. Any questions so far about the details of the challenge before I get into some more stuff? Carrie, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Just to clarify, you said that the active transportation challenge does not include transit, or is a certain prize doesn't include transit?
The challenge itself is
Okay.
does not include just admitting someone. No transit, since that's not technically your body moving you. But like I said, log the walk-in roll trips to and from, and then those will count. Yeah. And then there's usually a Get There challenge, a statewide Get There challenge in the fall, and that does include transit. That's like anything. Usually, it changes every year, but traditionally, it's anything besides driving alone.
Okay.
Then we have other incentive programs as well that everything counts for. We have commuter kickbacks, which is a raffle every month. We have like ongoing things, but this particular challenge, just active stuff. Alrighty, so let's talk about behavior change, because that's what we do. So we're trying to get people out of their drive alone habits and into more environmentally sustainable commuting habits when possible. I know that not everyone can not drive, so you do what works for you. But if you'd like to start doing some more active transportation, here's what we might be looking at as you change your habits. So first of all, habits are really hard to change. That's why we have jobs. That's why we exist. But it's difficult. So we are here to help. And keeping that in mind when you are trying to change your behavior, give yourself grace when things don't work out perfectly, because they won't. And you just got to kind of keep working on it. And this cycle that I'm going to explain, even though the arrows are moving in a certain direction, we don't always move along that certain direction. That's the making forward progress direction, but we go back and forth on it all the time for different reasons. If the weather is different, if you're not feeling good, if you have errands to do, kids to drop off, different things affect where we are on this all the time. And that is normal and okay. So let's start with pre-contemplation. That's in the upper left. And so that's, the name's a little misleading because you're not even thinking about changing. You're just like doing your thing. You're happy. We're going to use the example of, a driving commute, moving to a bike commute. And so you're just driving, you're happy driving. You don't feel like changing. You're not aware that that's something you want to do, and you're happy doing that. That's where you are. So that's pre-contemplation. That's kind of before all this even starts taking place. And so then at some point you might decide, you might start thinking that maybe I do want to start biking or walking. Gas is expensive. I'm sick of sitting in traffic. For whatever reason, I want to start biking. Looks fun. Or, I got an e-bike. E-bikes are fun, and that'll get me to work easier. So at some point you'll start thinking that maybe you want to start biking or whatever behavior you want to change. And so that's the contemplation phase. You're not like taking action yet. You're not making any preparations yet. You're just kind of thinking about it and not doing anything quite yet. And then at some point you might start the preparation phase, in which you have decided you're going to do the thing and you start making preparations. So you'll maybe fix up your bike, or make sure you have good rain gear, or like look up the route that you want to take. You haven't done it yet, but you're like, making moves. You're, thinking about it. doing stuff. And then hopefully at some point you'll take action. So that'll be, you actually do the thing. You bike to work the first time, and that's your action. And that is huge. So I feel like the hardest part is actually doing the thing. And then once you do it, hopefully you'll get into a maintenance phase, which is, you're doing it, you have a new habit. Good for you. That's awesome. Maybe you're biking to work once a week. Maybe you're doing it every day, which is awesome. You don't have to, but maybe you are. Um, and that's maintenance. And so that's, sustained change, new behavior replaces old. And then at some point you'll stop biking maybe, and they call it relapse, which has a negative connotation, but it doesn't have to be negative. Maybe it's the winter and you don't want to bike in the dark and the cold and rain, which me neither. Or, maybe you move to a different place and there's just no good bike routes. Maybe you get a new job, maybe you start working from home and you don't have to commute at all. So relapse is just you stop doing the behavior for some reason. And maybe you go back to driving alone, maybe you start a different habit. But that is what is called the trans-theoretical model of change. But it's basically just like the stages of some habit shifting. And the little spiral in the middle says you learn from each relapse. Again, each time you stop doing the behavior, you might learn from that. So, maybe if it's because it, rained and your rain jacket leaked, maybe you learn that you get a different rain jacket, or you get one of those cape things, or you get, I don't know, or you don't like biking in the rain, that's fine. But you learn each time and get better. And so there's different things that we do, like different interventions you can do for each stage here. And so if you're a transportation coordinator or something, and you're trying to, and you want to help people, bike more or walk more or whatever, here are some things you can do for each stage. So starting again with pre-contemplation, those are people who aren't aware that they want to do anything or just don't want to do anything. But maybe there's potential there. So maybe you want to do some awareness campaigns of, the amount of exercise you can get if you just bike to and from work, which you have to do anyway, or the amount of money you can save if you're not driving, things like that. Or maybe, awareness that there's a carpool matching platform, which Get There matches carpools, which is exciting. So maybe you want to make people aware of Get There Connect platform so that they can find carpool matches. And then they're like, oh, maybe that is a possibility. And then maybe they move into contemplation where they're thinking about it. And this is where it's really easy just to find reasons not to do it in contemplation when you're just thinking it through. And so things like addressing barriers, infrastructure is huge. Not all of us can, make new bike lanes, but that is, a huge barrier. Maybe just something like secure bike parking or showers. That's also some infrastructure that you may or may not have control over at your workplace. Maybe it's just lights. We give away free lights. They're of varying quality, but if you just have some lights, that'll help you be seen and help you see. And so maybe that'll help you get over a barrier. And so next, preparation, we can give free tools, gear, and route planning. So one of the services we do is help people find a route to work if they're thinking about, taking transit or using an active mode. We can help them plan their route from home to work. We have free tools that we can give away, gear, like I said, reflective stuff and lights. And our website has a lot of resources like videos. So that'll help you kind of get prepared. And then once you're in action, that's when we get into incentives and rewards. So that's kind of what we're looking at for the Active Transportation Challenge. So hopefully in the challenge, people are actually doing the thing. Hopefully we're helping people move from preparation to action, and we're giving them a reward for actually doing the action. Maybe they'll win a prize, a raffle. Maybe their team will win something. So that's things you can do while people are actually doing the things. And we're always happy to help set up custom incentive programs and figure out special rewards you can give out to your employees. Like I said, we are here to help with that. And once people are in maintenance phase, they're doing the thing all the time. That's when we can recognize people as like champions or leaders. So we can have, designated like mentors or like people who lead, rides, or like come on the bus with me and see, bus buddies, bike buddies, things like that, and recognize people that are doing it all the time. And that's kind of what the challenge is about as well. So you can win first prize for logging the most trips because you do it all the time. And then in the relapse phase, what you can do is if you have some surveys and get some feedback. And so you want to find out why people are stopping doing the behavior so that you can address it. And that's when you can get some feedback. And those are all things that we can help with, like I said, at your workplace. So yeah, okay. I'm going to get into some pro tips. Oh, first, does anybody have questions about this or other insight? I know some of you work in behavior change as well. If not, that's cool. Okay, I've got some pro tips. And then maybe you all have some pro tips too after this. Okay, so my big thing is when I'm trying to change a behavior, especially if it's something like a commute, I am not a morning person. And so if I am like, oh, tomorrow I'm going to bike to work, and biking to work takes some more prep than, other than driving, because I got to get my gear on. I got to know the route. I have to have energy. If I'm doing a different commute than before, there's a lot of things I need to change. And so my thing that I have found is helpful is when I do have the motivation, plan for when I won't. So in the morning, when I get out of bed, after probably sleeping too late, like I say, not a morning person, that's when I don't have motivation. And so I want to make things as easy as possible. So when I'm motivated and excited, I'm going to try and get rid of a lot of those barriers I'm going to have that morning. So one of them is plan your route ahead of time and even maybe try it out on a weekend or a non-work day, or even, with a friend, and, bring a picnic, stop for a beer, make it fun. And that way, where you're going. Will have done it before. You don't have to think about oh, what if I don't actually know where I'm going to turn here? How do I get across this road? You have done it already, so you don't have to worry about that. You can set your outfit and gear the night before, and so you don't have to pick out everything and gather everything that morning. You can place things that you don't want to forget, so they're literally in your way as you're leaving. This is one of my favorites, actually. Just put my backpack right in front of the door, so I can't open the door unless I grab the backpack or the thing I need to bring. A fun thing that I've heard is putting, if you want to remember your lunch, you can put your keys in the fridge on top of the lunch. That only really works if you have to use your keys to lock your door on the way out. Otherwise, you forget your keys. But that's a fun thing to do. You can make a commute buddy if you know someone at work who's already doing the commute that you would like to do. You can chat them up, ask for advice if they're open to it, because everyone was a beginner once, so they probably have some advice that they might be willing to share. And maybe don't try a new commute on a day when you have an important meeting first thing. Just try maybe a lower stress day in case things do go wrong. Those are all kind of ideal things for you to try. Another thing that I found helpful myself is just changing my mindset or trying to change my mindset. So instead of thinking oh, this is going to be so hard, things are going to go wrong, look at it as a challenge to overcome. And keeping in mind that when you're done and when you've done it, you'll feel so good, because accomplishing challenges is a great feeling. And so if you kind of reframe it from ugh, this is going to be gross and hard to, this is going to be a challenge and I'm going to get through it and I'm going to be stronger for it, then that's a better mindset to have. You could change your mindset about rain. Rain is nice. It keeps our area lush and green. The sound is relaxing. You don't have to bike in the rain if you don't want to, but I found that when I do it, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, especially if I have the right gear. It can actually be kind of nice being outside rather than stuck in a car. And you can bond with some friends over a rough commute or a rough time outside, and you can laugh about it together. Some type 2 fun. It's not fun in the moment, but you can laugh about it afterwards. And just a couple other commute tips. Wear reflective gear and lights so people can see you, especially kind of, this time of year. We still have some rain, It is definitely lighter out later, but it's still kind of dark in the morning. And so we want to be able to see each other. So let's help each other out and stay, lit up and reflective. Speaking of rain, a baseball cap under your hood is actually very helpful for keeping the rain out of your eyes. It's not perfect if it's raining a lot, but it definitely helps. And if you are prepared, like I say, especially like the spring weather, it's very fickle here. And so it might be sunny in the morning, but then it might be like hailing in the afternoon or raining. So be prepared. You can keep some light rain gear in your backpack, some lights. I like to keep like some of the cheapo lights that we give away as backup. I just like to keep them in my bag in case I need them. And then a book. I like to keep a book in my backpack in case, if it does start hailing, maybe I can just dip into a coffee shop and just read my book and wait it out. So it's good to, be prepared. And make your commute fun. So you can say every Tuesday or whatever, you can treat yourself to dinner or drinks on your bike ride home, or meet a friend somewhere walkable. So it doesn't have to be, a slog. It can be fun. And you have, I think, more opportunity for that than maybe you would sitting in traffic. Anybody else have some pro tips they want to share that help them get out of the car?
I love a good pair of rain pants.
Hmm.
They're nice and baggy. You can put them over your regular pants, and you have a nice baggy rain jacket. You can even wear over your backpack if you have a backpack. That's, that's the way I roll.
Smart. Love it.
That's all good advice, Carrie. Boy, when I first started bike commuting, I didn't think fully about the rain. And I, got to admit, I got awfully wet, but with only just a little gear, you can be good to go. And I also learned the absolute value of having a nice little clip to keep your pants from getting all tied up in your chain. Oh my gosh. Simple stuff, just basic, but yet so important.
Yeah, definitely. We give out reflective slap bands, and they're fun as, a fun retro thing. People love it because it's nostalgic, but it's reflective and you can put it on your pant leg to keep your pants in check. Yeah, I put some, on my bike just to keep my bike reflective. I found kind of a game changer was a waterproof backpack, because I don't have a car in this moment in my life, and so I do a lot of active transportation. So I'm out in the rain when it's raining, and so just like knowing that my stuff's not going to get wet is huge. So that's if you can find a decent one. If you're in the Portland area, Next Adventure in the basement has some good used gear, or even Goodwill. Goodwill has good stuff, so you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can just find some used stuff.
Not a lot of money, and you can really stay dry.
Yeah,
it's not hard.
For sure. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to talk through some employee engagement ideas, and then maybe you'll have some too. So some stuff I came up with that people have done in the past are like commuter breakfasts or coffees. You can pick a day, and if it's nice out, maybe you can have a little table outside, and like everyone that comes in via an active mode can get, a little snack or a little coffee or something, just as a little reward. And even though it's like a small, cheap reward, I feel like when I get those things, I'm like, oh, nice, a free coffee. Like it means a lot, even though it doesn't cost a whole lot. You can put freebies in locker rooms and bike parking. Something that we've done in the past is just hang little like baggies with some giveaways on people's handlebars that have biked to work. And so that's kind of a fun little reward for people who have done the thing we want to do. Commuter workshops. We're happy to lead some workshops at your site or virtually, or help out with ones that you're putting on, and that's always fun. We can do tables at health and wellness fairs or Earth Day fairs. It's Earth Month. It's Earth Month, so we can come and do a table at your fairs and give away some stuff and promote the Active Transportation Challenge. We also offer one-on-one commute planning, so you can refer your employees to us. Like I said, that's we can help you figure out a route. We can have a little consultation, like video or in person, with people if you're just trying to like think through, or if you want to talk through your commute, we are happy to do that. Team happy hour is always fun as a nice little team building reward. Something I always thought would be fun is if you gather quotes and photos from people at your site who are doing active commutes and then publicizing that, because people trust who they already know. So they'll see some familiar faces and they can see like, oh, they're doing that thing. Maybe I'll go chat with them about it. And it helps create like a positive norm, which is nice. And like I said, if you're a member, we can help. Okay, anybody else have some fun employee engagement ideas? And if not, that's all right.
One thing I found is that it's great to learn from other people who've kind of already done it. So having those bike buddies and mentors is so valuable. I had one at my workplace that really helped me very comfortably ride on the road, ride my bike on the road, and that was just so transformative. Honestly, I mean, I just moved to Portland from Oklahoma, where I think I might have been one of like 10 like people from my small town who actually bike. I'm not kidding. And it was, big city. And it was just so cool to have somebody help me just get on the road, actually just be there with me. It made a huge difference.
That's awesome. And I feel like to help find those people, like some workplaces will do, like if they have like some sort of intranet, like message board or like community pages, for bikers, walkers, things like that. You can, people can post like advice and questions and everything, and find a community there, which is nice. All right, so this is the last thing I have. So just as a reminder, we are here to help. One thing we have that feel free to share widely is our Commuter's Guide to Bike and Pedestrian Safety. And that has a bunch of stuff on that webpage. We have links to sign up for a commute consultation or help route planning. We have resource requests. There's a lot of videos on there based on the mode. One thing that I found helpful was a video on how to put your bike on a bus on that rack on the front, because that was very intimidating for me at first. And I know I'm not the only one. So I went to watch a video just so I wouldn't be the one like holding up the bus like while I figure it out. And that was very helpful. So that's there. If you have a suggestion for things to put on there, feel free. But that's always a good thing to promote. And that's at bit.ly/bikepedsafe. So just on our website as well. Okay, and here's my contact information, Caitlin at WTA-TMA.org. Get in touch anytime if you want to talk through employee engagement stuff, if you want to talk through your own commute, if you want to become a member, if you're not a member already, reach out anytime, and sign up for our newsletter if you're not already on it at bit.ly/commuter news. Anybody have questions, final thoughts, more tips? No, we can go early. Yay. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Kelly. It's if you were in this presentation last year, you'll probably recognize a lot of these slides, but we haven't changed much about the challenge, so to keep things consistent. Awesome, thanks. Okay. Well, like I said, if you think of anything, just email me, get in touch. And thank you for coming. Thank you for being members, and thank you for attending. And if you're watching this recording, thank you for watching the recording. And I'll let you all go. Thanks. Good afternoon.
Thanks, Caitlin.